So, you think you're starting your day on the right foot. You've got a warm, comforting bowl of oatmeal, and you're ready to make it delicious. For years, you've heard it's one of the best breakfasts out there. And it's true. Oatmeal is packed with a special fiber called beta-glucan, which is a rock star for helping lower cholesterol and keeping blood sugar in check. It's a breakfast that promises to keep you full and energized all the way to lunch. But what if the toppings you're adding, the ones you think are making your oatmeal even healthier, are actually undoing all that good? What if they're secretly turning your breakfast into a sugar bomb that sends your energy levels on a wild roller coaster, working against your biggest health and weight goals? It's a common trap, and millions of people fall into it every single morning without even realizing it. You see, the oatmeal itself usually isn't the problem. The issue is what we put on it. That innocent-looking bowl can quickly become a delivery system for hidden sugars and empty calories, flipping your healthy intentions completely upside down. The very things you add for a little flavor or a health boost can make your breakfast act more like a bowl of sugary kid cereal in your body. So today, we're going to expose the culprits. I'm going to show you 3 so-called healthy oatmeal toppings that are secretly sabotaging your health. I'll break down the science of why they're so tricky, and most importantly, I'll give you some simple, delicious, and genuinely healthy swaps that will make your oatmeal the nutritional powerhouse it's meant to be. Let's get right to it with the first imposter that's fooling millions every single day. Section 1. The natural sugar trap, brown sugar and maple syrup. First up is maybe the most classic oatmeal topping of all time. A spoonful of brown sugar or a nice drizzle of pure maple syrup. I can hear you already. But wait, maple syrup is natural. It comes from a tree, and brown sugar is less processed. It's a compelling story, right? We've been taught to believe that natural and pure automatically mean healthy. And while it's true that maple syrup has some trace minerals and antioxidants, that's really not the main story here. Here's the reality check. To your body, sugar is pretty much sugar, no matter its backstory. Whether it's from maple tree or a sugarcane field, these sweeteners are simple carbs with zero fiber to slow them down. Your oatmeal has fiber to help manage its carbs and provide a slow release of energy. But when you pour a tablespoon of maple syrup on top, you're essentially flooding the system. Think of it this way. The fiber in your oatmeal is like a slow-drip coffee filter for energy. But adding that pure sugar is like punching a hole in the bottom of the filter. Everything rushes through at once. This causes a massive blood sugar spike. Your body then has to scramble, releasing a flood of insulin to deal with the sugar rush. And what always follows a huge spike? A nosedive. That's the crash. That's that mid-morning slump where you feel exhausted, foggy, and suddenly desperate for another snack. Over time, this cycle can make it incredibly tough to manage your weight and energy. So what's the fix? We still want flavor. Spices are your new best friend. A generous dash of cinnamon doesn't just add a warm, sweet flavor. It's actually been shown to help your body manage blood sugar. Nutmeg and pumpkin pie spice are also fantastic. If you really need that sweet kick, a tiny bit of a natural, zero-calorie sweetener like monk fruit can do the trick. But the real secret is to let fruit do the work for you. Which brings us to our next offender. Does that mid-morning energy crash sound a little too familiar? Let me know in the comments if that's you. Section 2. The sneaky sugar bomb, dried fruit. Alright, this next one is tricky because it wears a serious health halo. After all, it's fruit. I'm talking about dried fruit. Raisins, dried cranberries, chopped dates, you name it. They seem like a great way to add fiber, vitamins, and natural sweetness. We see them in healthy trail mixes and snack bars, so they must be good for us, right? That's the common belief, but it's one of the biggest mistakes people make. You think you're choosing fruit over candy, but here's the problem. The key word is concentrated. What is dried fruit? It's fresh fruit with all the water sucked out. This process doesn't just preserve the fruit, it creates a tiny, super concentrated sugar bomb. For perspective, a small box of raisins has about the same amount of sugar as a can of soda. And a measly 1/3 cup of some popular dried cranberry brands can pack over 25 grams of sugar. Compare that to a whole cup of fresh strawberries, which is only about 8 grams. Worse, many commercial dried fruits, like craisins, have even more sugar added during processing to make them taste better. So, you're often getting a double hit. This sends your blood sugar on that same spike and crash roller coaster. The solution here is simple and way more satisfying. Use fresh or frozen fruit. Berries are your all-stars: blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. They're lower in sugar, packed with fiber and antioxidants, and they won't send your blood sugar soaring. A half cup of fresh blueberries adds amazing flavor and sweetness. Frozen berries are just as good. Toss them in while your oatmeal is cooking for a delicious, naturally sweet swirl. A chopped apple or pear also adds great texture and fiber. You get way more food, more water, more fiber, and much less sugar. It's a win all around. Section 3. The Convenience Trap: Flavored Instant Oatmeal Packets. Our third and final saboteur isn't really a topping. It's the whole package. I'm talking about those flavored instant oatmeal packets. The appeal is all about convenience. In our crazy busy lives, a healthy breakfast that's ready in 90 seconds sounds like a dream. The boxes have pictures of farm-fresh oats and beautiful fruit. Some even brag about being lower sugar. But this might be the most deceptive of all. First, let's talk about the oats themselves. To make them instant, they are chopped, pre-cooked, and flattened into tiny pieces. This heavy processing means your body digests them incredibly fast, leading to a much quicker blood sugar response than you'd get from less processed rolled or steel-cut oats. Second, the sugar is often off the charts. A single maple and brown sugar packet can have 12 grams of added sugar. That's 3 teaspoons before you've even had your coffee. And third, what about that fruit? It's often just tiny, dehydrated apple bits coated in more sugar and starch. The cream? Usually just a mix of powders and oils. These packets are frequently loaded with artificial flavors and preservatives. It's basically a highly processed cereal wearing a healthy oatmeal costume. The solution is to take back control. It only takes a few extra minutes to make oatmeal from scratch using plain rolled oats, or even better, steel-cut oats. They digest more slowly, giving you stable, long-lasting energy. When you start with a plain canvas, you're the chef. You decide what goes in. You can add cinnamon, fresh berries, and our secret weapon for a truly balanced breakfast: protein and healthy fats.